Yo, hey guys, Ken Perriman here, and I'm back again with another product, and it is this guy right here. Let me show it to you. It is this Long thermal imaging camera. This is an all-in-one system built in. But before we get into this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about that guy right there. Hashtag sponsored. It just means that the company has sent me this product so I can show you guys. Each screen, it does have the capability of having an LED flashlight, and it measures -4 to 752 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's the standard measurement temperature across a lot of these types of devices based on the wavelength. Below and above that, it's immeasurable. Let's go ahead and get into this box and see what's inside this box. A lot of foam, good to protect it. This is a return if and you broken or dislike it. Okay. And is this a sticker of some sort? I guess you can slap it on the box. You can give them a call and take care of that. You do have safety warnings for the thermal camera. Be sure to read through that. And of course, your user guide, user manual, quick start guide, and the model of the TTMC series. Adding more to the box, let's go ahead and just pull all of this out and make sure nothing left so we can go ahead and just talk about what's in the box. Cool. So nice lanyard here that has a little push button so you can lock it to your wrist. If you're worried that it might slip off, you just pull this on, slide your wrist and give it a little push up. It's not going to slide off. So there you go. Down here, I'm assuming it would go down. Yeah, there it is. So it'll go down here and lock in. It's got a 1/4-20. So if you need to put this on a tripod, there you go. Set these off to the side so we got a little more viewable range. So before we get into this device itself, I want to talk about this. This is BC metal connectors. That is pretty cool. Now, of course, you have this really cool device here. The yellowish color, those are the LEDs. You have your thermal imager and probably also the sensor that's reading the wavelength. It does also have a laser built into this, so you can point and shoot at the temperatures you're looking for. It just mentions all the device factors on it, the ratings, 5 volt at 2 amps, 3.7 volts. It's got a 2600 milliamp hour battery. So it is rechargeable. We can use it as it is, and it's a LiPo battery. So this is the TM120S IR resolution, and it tells about what you get. Thermal storage bag, 220. USB cable, type A to type C, user manual, safety warning, and wrist strap. The USB-C charge slot right there at the top. Continuing on, there is the tripod screw, 1/4-20 lanyard hole, exactly where I said. There is a trigger right there. Spot thermal sensor is number 9. 2 LED flashlights. 8 is the IR camera right here. Your 2 flashlights. Number 2 is laser pointer button. Oh, that's on the back side, right? Yes, it is. So yeah, there it is right there. You can use the laser pointer. Let's look at 6 visible spectrum camera. That is 6. That is this big guy in the top. Yeah. Okay. On the front side here, you also have a button, a directional pad around the outside, and then of course you have an OK button, power, and return button. There is no visible spectrum because it belongs on the other device. So this is a manual for 2 different devices. There's one that's probably a step above this one. 0.2-inch screen on the back here, and again, all your D-pad controls and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Press and hold that button, and there it goes. It said 228 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it finally calibrated and was like, nope, not really. So it is 60 something degrees, and I can hear it tick as it's calibrating. That's where my arm was. Hold on, I got to switch to where you guys can, oh, you can see the camera. Okay. Let me put me back in the corner. See that right there on this imager? That was where my arm was on the table, and then you can see that's my hand. I could feel it's a little bit warmer right there. Let's get to this where you can see it. I'm going to put this here and then leave my hands there. Look at that. It's still sensing the temperature differential between what the table was and where I put my warm hands. That is pretty darn cool. You can see even more so on there, it's telling you all the temperature ranges between the hot, the cold, and I'm trying to keep it so it's not so much. If I wanted to, I can bring this down here. Let's do it again. So I can see my hand, you can see my watch, and I'm going to click the trigger, and I just took a picture. Now, I'm going to go over from the measurement to the album, and there's the picture. How cool is that, right? Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to turn on, and now there's my laser pointer. So let me see. I'm going to put my finger at a spot, And actually what's funny is where the laser pointer is, the crosshairs for the center point is. Boop. Yep, and there it is, 71. Let's take a picture. Now the cool thing you can see, I can go over to settings, click on that, and I work through the settings. I do have the TSO view on, that means it's a better view. I can't turn off the laser pointer in this range. I have to get back to the standard view. There's a temperature range. The compensation is 3.28 feet. Unit is Fahrenheit. Emissivity is 99.99. I'm going to hit the back arrow and use the D-pad to move over past the picture. Back to the measurements. Let's go over to the thermal. And then I can see the top box. I've got contrast. Then I can go to normal. And that is the keyboard that it's looking at. Then I can go to smooth. I'm just going to go to normal. Come back down. I actually got to click OK on it. Then I'm back down. Now I can go to my color analysis palette. Then I can do the iron. I can switch over to just white hot, black hot. You got rainbow, hottest. Is that what it says? Hottest. Yeah, it does say hottest. High contrast. That's very high contrast. What is that looking at? Oh, okay. That is pretty hot. It's looking at something that you guys can't see off camera. There's the green. I'm sorry, that looks like thermal imaging kind of style. So anyway, this is all thermal imaging. That's as far as you'll go. So basically, if I were to use anything, I would use the iron. Let's click on it. And then also because the laser point, back on the measurement, I should be able to, yep, turn it off. These imagers is, as you hear it clicking, is it's always recalibrating or rechecking. So if I'm down here in this range, it will see, except for where I'm touching it, that my body is 92.4 degrees. That's pretty close, right? Here, this is your maximum, and you got a minimum of 67, 66, and a high of 73 at the center point. But you move over here, and everything in its largest range is going to be 71 to 60. Wait, I got to go back out of that color palette. There you go. 65 to 68 degrees over here. But once you move out to an area that's just a bit hotter, let me see if I can go down here. There it is. That's 92 degrees at its hottest. Yeah, 92 degrees. This is a pretty big image sensor screen. And let me go ahead and just pop the trigger. That's my hard drive. Right now, my video that I'm recording for you guys is being recorded onto that device. Everything in there is cool, but the drive itself is hot. You can see over here, this is a USB hub, so you can see the little rectangled holes. I'm pointing at something you can't see, but there's rectangled holes is where I would normally put my USBs. They're 94 degrees in there. Let me see. It should be, yeah, it's 105. I think it was 107 with my other device. So really cool feature on here where you see the range of temperatures, and it does do hot and cold, and it'll show you the differences. This thing is one where you can check your house and look for some potential. I just happen to know what those hot spots are. One's a outlet that's plugged in. Yeah. So as an example, you look right there, you can barely see off camera. I have a watt measuring device plugged into the outlet, and it's just basically using energy, and it's a small variance. The wall is 66 or 61, and then the actual temperature of that is 66. So even though it shows orange like it's really hot, it's not. It's just in that range that it's seeing from 61 to 66, the largest sweep. So you understand every time you look at something, when you're looking for the temperatures, it's going to show you the spectrum of hottest to coldest temperature. It could be, like I said, 61 to 66. That's cold, but it's going to show you that swing. The hottest temperature, 66 in this case, is going to show bright orange like it's glowing red hot. It's just that's the highest temperature it's reading. So hopefully that makes sense to you. This thing, an all-in-one unit, you point and shoot and you watch the screen and you take a look at those things that you're looking at, and you hope to see that or understand. Maybe you're going to go through your house and look for areas where there might be hot spots in the ceiling and cold spots that you can check and see, hey, maybe you're going to buy a house. Sometimes think something like this might be worth buying no matter the price point of this, so that when you're checking out a house, you can say, hey, this saved me a few $1,000s of maintenance on a house that's leaking heat or cool air, or whatever the factor may be. Looking around, seeing if there's some hot stuff around here. It could be something as simple as looking outside, it's cold, and you're maybe doing a little search looking for a temperature variance of something. So you can look out and go, hey, I see something over there. It has a warm temperature. It will show you a figure of a person, right? Let me show you. You can see my outline. You could even just use this and go, hey, look, I see some dude giving off heat over there. He's hiding behind a bush. That is one of a multitude of factors that you can use this thing for. I love that it's just a full handheld unit. You don't have to add anything other than charging from time to time. And it is, like I said, what is that, 2600 milliamp hour battery that's in here? I think it is. Yeah, it's a 2600 milliamp hour battery that's in here. This is going to give you a decent amount of time. I haven't charged it up yet, and it's still sitting at maybe 75%. It's been sitting there for a while. I've been moving this around because of, yeah, 108. It's doing it all there. Press and hold the power button, and it's off. Boom, you're done. Put it away, take care of it, do what you got to do. I think that this thing is really cool, and it's going to be worth the price when you're using it to look at and look for certain things. When you have excess heat somewhere, and it's related to all kinds of stuff. Excessive heat in electronics means that you have an issue. Most of the way it's dissipated or is inefficient is when you get a lot of heat. So in many cases, you might have to check and say, hey, I'm getting a lot of heat off here. Maybe I got an issue with a wire connection that's not quite fully grounded or something to that case. Engines in cars, you're going to be checking and scanning to see if your engine is too hot based on stress tests you did on it. You want to check if you've applied enough oil because there's maybe a bicycle and you got a ton of friction and it's heating up. You can use this to check those temperature differences and differentials between the hotter and colder of the environment. So you could use, like I said, for so many things just related to hot and cold. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I really do appreciate your time, and I'm out.